Okay, guys, so this is officially my first real week of teaching, and I'm gonna kind of break down just just how everything happened this week. Um, so first day was procedures and policies and doing diagnostics. That didn't go over so well. None of the kids would do the listening lobo, which is how we get their attention for quiet. The lobo is their school mascot, so no one was doing it, and I mean, the kids did the assessment, did the diagnostic, but I'm pretty sure they only did it because I told them that the things that they did well on that we wouldn't have to cover as much, which is not a fallacy. It's just twisting manipulatively, and so I mean it didn't go terribly. Like no one was stabbing each other, but there was a little bit of misbehavior, swearing here and there. So I was pretty frustrated with day one. Day two, my first day teaching independently, I was kind of concerned because I was getting observed by my advisor that day, and a bunch of other people came in. So my goals for the session, besides teaching the kids about main idea, was to basically get them to participate because, all right, stepping back for a minute here, on Monday, we were trying to go around the room and learn a little something about them. So we were trying to get them to each say one thing they liked about English and one thing they didn't. Well, no one was participating, no one at all. So, step number one, get them to participate. Step number two, they were going to do this stupid thing. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, so they're going to do that. So, participation was a multi-tiered thing over the course of a couple days, but I'll lay down sort of Tuesday and then what happened yesterday. Yeah, yesterday and today. So, first step to this tier was there was one kid who was kind of the ringleader of not answering. And so I came up to him and specifically asked him a question. It was on main idea. I was like, well, what was your favorite movie? He's like, I don't like movies. What's your favorite book? I don't like books. What do you like? I like sleeping. Okay, well, can you describe to me in one sentence what sleeping is? And so he did, finally. And that was kind of the first step. Step number two was there was one point when I asked if anybody could point out the main idea in this paragraph, and no one was answering at all. So I stood there and I was like, okay, guys, you have two options. Option number one, somebody answers and we move on. Option number two, nobody answers, I stand up here awkwardly, and none of you guys are allowed to talk. And if you talk, I'll call your parents right here, right now in the middle of class. And they tested me for about 30, 40 seconds, somewhere in that range, and finally, like 3 hands shot up. I was like, funny how that works, isn't it? But anyway, they've been participating a whole lot. The next day, on Wednesday, I actually enforced a participation grade. So they're getting points for doing that. Now, it's not like my classroom's perfect. I still have like 2 kids who are pretty disengaged. I apologize. I'm averaging like 4 or 5 hours of sleep here. I'm one of the lucky ones, too. Lesson planning, like, each lesson plan for most people takes like 2 to 3 hours. Plus, we're at school until like 4:30 or 5:30. And then, so figure we're doing 2 lesson plans. So 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. Another hour for revising your next lesson plan, 10:30. Another hour to 2 hours to print off all your stuff. So add another hour on top of that. And that's without like taking breaks to eat or to do anything else. Most people are up to like 2 or 3 in the morning. Yesterday, like I'm pretty efficient with lesson planning, so I've been finishing most days that I have to do a lesson plan by like 8 o'clock or so. But I still don't end up crashing till later because my roommate ends up having to work late and it just keeps me up. So fun times. I actually finished my lesson plans for that were due yesterday when I was in school. So that was like massively exciting. We had a little bit of teacher work time, and let's see what else has been going on. Oh, right, behavioral students. So we have one kid who just like likes to pretend like he's asleep all the time, and that's a little frustrating. And then we just have some kids that talk, and so I've separated them all, and my partner separated them all, and so we've kind of got it under control now for the most part. We just need to make sure we ensure the seating arrangement and make sure everyone's participating. I gave the kids zeros that weren't participating today. As far as lessons go, Tuesday was really solid, and yesterday was even better. Tuesday was about main ideas, and like I said, I was observed that day, and that went really well. And then Wednesday was about inferencing. So they really got the idea of inferencing down, and they were able to recite to me today. They were really participating. And today we were doing selecting evidence in essay form, like how to select evidence from text you've read that'll enforce an idea or support an idea that's like a point of view. But these kids like don't really know how to write essays, so that's why we had to go so simplistic with it. And it was relatively effective, not the best lesson ever, but when I was looking over their stuff, I mean, they're coming from a point where, like, on a rubric from 1 to 4, 4 being like, holy crap, your essay is amazing, and 0 being, well, I guess 0 to 4, 0 being like, what the heck are you doing? Most kids were scoring a 0 or maybe a 1 if they were lucky, and now I have them averaging at about a 3, I would say. So, actually a pretty big step for one class, and we're going to be teaching them more about that tomorrow. I'm not sure why my camera is getting randomly dark either. Maybe that helps a little bit. Anyway, so that was all pretty effective. I've been really happy with the way my class has been turning out, and I've seen examples that have been great classrooms, and I've seen examples that have been pretty horrible so far. Like one class I was in where this kid like had his head down every 5 seconds, literally, like boom, 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 like all the time, just head down everywhere. And so I don't know, that was interesting. And then I've heard a couple of horror stories, so I'll share a couple with you. Well, one's a horror story, one's more just like random and funny. So, horror story. This girl was teaching her class, and she was helping someone out with the whatever I guess they were doing. So she leans down to help the kid, and she's crouching next to him, and she goes, "So, what do you really need help with? What can I help you with?" And this other girl, who's unrelated to anything in the conversation, just turns and goes, "You're a bitch," directly to her. And what makes this funnier is that she had just sent 4 kids down to the office for having sworn. And I was like, oh, I just wasn't even dealt with it. The biggest problem I had to deal with was one kid falling asleep, and I was like, wake up, wake up. And then this girl in the class smacked him upside the head with like a binder. And I know I should have corrected her, but I didn't because she smacked him upside the head to wake him up. I was kind of happy. And so when he got up, I leaned close. I was like, here, I'll do the teacher face I did. If you don't start paying attention in class, if you don't keep your head up, I will call your mother, and I will call her on speakerphone right here, right now. I'm not going to tell you again. Keep your head up. He got 100 on the assessment that day. And then the funny story I heard. So apparently this other teacher had a problem child in their class who normally talks a lot. And this giant piece of blue duct tape across his mouth when she came in and had 3 pencils sticking out like this. And just looked at her like, And she was like, the thing that makes me a bad teacher is that I was like, I have to really consider this. Cons, he's basically a walking weapon. Pro, he won't talk. So that was kind of funny. And let's see, a couple other quick things. Oh, I went to happy hour last week. All the teachers were there, and everyone was getting a little bit happy. It was pretty fun, actually. We have an event going on tonight at 10, which I'll probably try to go to. I'm really tired. I have to go get dinner in a bit. I might go back down there, though, and see what this is all about. They're leaving all these mysterious posters. I know there was something else I want to share. Oh, yeah, today. So today, one kid calls me over for a question, and most of the kids have been really good about that. And I lean over to help her, and I go, yeah, how can I help you? Her name. And she just goes, you have really nice eyes. And I was just really creeped out by that. I wasn't even sure to handle it, so I was just like, thank you, and walked away. So that was a little bit of an awkward turtle. I mean, she's like a 15-year-old kid. I'm like, oh, that's creepy. That's one of those things that I thought always happened to female teachers, not to guys. I don't even think I'm, attractive. So whatever, it was just weird and creepy and creepy. Anyway, so basically, long story really short, Monday sucked. The rest this week went awesome. Can't wait to keep teaching. I'm psyched about every lesson I give. I'm really engaging the kids, and they're learning a whole lot. My class average right now is a 90. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye-bye.